Let's talk about my favorite kind of comedy, conservative comedy. Because these people will swear they're being silenced while uploading their jokes on every platform imaginable. And if we're lucky, maybe they're running a podcast as well. And apparently, according to our Lord and Savior, Elon Musk,
like wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal.
Which is interesting because I remember a talk show host getting taken off air for making comments about a certain someone. So comedy isn't just illegal, it's very illegal when feelings are hurt. And look, when it comes to conservative humor, the problem isn't that it's offensive. The problem is conservative comedians aren't funny. It's the same jokes on repeat. I identify as insert any object imaginable. Liberals be like this, and my personal favorite, the joke that somehow gets funnier the millionth time it's told. My pronouns are insert literally anything that isn't a pronoun. Because apparently we don't use our brains around here. So let's hear how this comedy actually sounds like. Here's our first example.
You know what a cockatoo is? A cockatoo. And that's what everyone's become. Little cockatoos staring at the screen.
Facts and figures, facts and figures. Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci.
Look, I don't want to be disrespectful, but am I witnessing a severe form of brain damage? Because what is going on here? And by the way, this man, Jim Brewer, used to be on SNL. Yeah, that comedy TV show with actual jokes. They didn't renew his contract, by the way. And honestly, after seeing this, I have no idea why they would do that. Because instead of writing a joke, this grown man walks on stage and starts acting like a cockatoo. He's pushing 60 years old, by the way. After all those years of experience, surely he could have done better. Then after all of that squeaking, he finally speaks and goes, "That's what everyone's become. Little cockatoo staring at a screen. Facts and figures, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Fauci." Now that was not a joke. He was so serious when he said that. He's just naming things he's mad at, but with bird noises. Now here's the thing. He doesn't stop. Like, this isn't some quick bit. He just keeps going.
Trust the science. Trust the science.
At this point, I'm fully convinced he secretly loves dressing up as a bird in his spare time, which is his business, but why do we all have to see it? And look, comedy is subjective. Very clearly, because as we can see, this crowd is losing their minds. Actually, losing their minds is a bit of an exaggeration. Half of them look confused because, I mean, come on, bro. The other half are on their meds. That's the only explanation. Anyways, the only takeaway here is that if he can make it to SNL, so can you. Anything is possible. So if that's the sophisticated comedy of a former SNL cast member, let's look at someone who didn't even make it that far.
I'm a hot boy for Zoran. Of course I eat rice with my ham. Every New Yorker needs to assimilate the third world culture. Go Zoran! Woo! My penis doesn't work. I'm a hot boy for Zoran. Of course I'm voting for a guy who desecrates 9/11 victims. Globalize the intifada! Allah Akbar! I'm a hot boy for Zoran. Of course I smoke my bubblegum flavored robot chode for anxiety.
Yup. That's a joke. And I get what he's trying to do. It's very obvious. But not only is this extraordinarily unfunny, it's also lazy. Because the only thing that he's doing is using a childish mocking voice. You know, the voice people used as kids back when the ultimate comeback was, "I know you are, but what am I?" Unfortunately, that doesn't work anymore. Nowadays, it's more like, "Yeah, well, at least my mom doesn't have an OnlyFans." And when you look at his page, this is the whole thing. Every single video boils down to the same formula. Liberal man weak. Liberal man sad. Conservative man strong. Conservative man alpha wolf. That's literally it. That's the joke. And somehow the 100th time it gets told, it's supposed to be even funnier. Also, I saw one of his videos where he supposedly joins a liberal protest and acts like he just exposed and infiltrated it. I don't know how to tell you this, but you joined the protest. You walked with them and you said their chants. You know what? That's really gonna show them. You really exposed them right now, didn't you? Anyways, as we all know, in 2026, all roads lead to Mamdanistan. Inshallah, the rent prices go down in all 5 boroughs. We will all be learning Arabic numerals. All right, so far, it's been bad. But let me be fair, they don't just do jokes, they also do impersonation. Now, surely, if you're impersonating someone else, the bare minimum is that it's funny.
Hi, friends! Today's letter is M for Mom Donnie. Yay! Mom Donnie is brown, right? Which is better than white. Good.
Bro, what is she on about?
We're decriminalizing prostitution. We're decriminalizing prostitution. If Timmy has 2 houses and DeAndre has none, what should Timmy do?
Please enlighten us on what little Timmy should do.
I know. Give him his houses.
Oh my God, bro. So apparently in 2025, toddlers were being radicalized while learning their alphabets. And she's dressed up as Miss Rachel. So I guess the joke here is that Miss Rachel is pushing a political agenda. Interesting, because then I remembered PragerU for Kids exists. And they were out here making videos animating Christopher Columbus justifying slavery.
Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? I don't see the problem.
That's insane on its own, but especially wild considering people literally chose death over slavery. Oh well, it doesn't really even matter, because what's the actual benefit of a child learning this? You think little Timmy's gonna go like, "Mommy, I just finished drawing my shapes." Also, slavery is incredibly complicated with large amounts of historical exploitation, but at the end of the day, the ends justify the means. Literally, a kid would gain more from watching brain rot slop content than whatever that was. But then again, Miss Rachel got Anti-Semite of the Year. Do you know what it takes to earn that?
This is a prayer for children in Gaza. This is a prayer for children in Israel. This is a prayer for all the children. Please stop hurting them.
That's it. She got top 10 placement for saying don't hurt children. Anyways, was this video even a joke? Or is this just everything I don't like is woke while wearing a Miss Rachel costume? Thankfully though, we learned our ABCs from this off-brand Miss Rachel, because we're moving on to a conservative skit in school. This wasn't made by children, by the way.
All right, guys, so I'm your substitute teacher today. Let's pick up your normal lesson plan. Go ahead and open your coloring books to the page where Martin Luther King Jr. is affirming Demi Lovato's gender pronouns. Who would like to express themselves today?
Excuse me, teacher. Hi, I'm Dave. He, they pronouns. I identify as an octopus. Are we going to be having a test on how George Washington tore down the black man's space pyramids at Wakanda?
Thank you so much for adding the laugh track. I genuinely wouldn't know when to begin laughing without it. Because without it, I might have assumed this was a cry for help. I mean, honestly, what is a grown man doing in a fake classroom surrounded by children? Maybe he's just showing us where his current intelligence level is at. Now, this video is called Based Academy, which is perfect because nothing says based like getting lectured by someone who thinks holding an apple makes her look more like a teacher. Without that apple, I would have thought this was a random off the street. Thank God it was there. Anyways, the jokes were so bad, I genuinely don't know how anyone finds this funny. Like, I identify as an octopus. Is this peak conservative humor right here? Or his other banger about George Washington tearing down the black man's space pyramids at Wakanda? Bro, I'm so mad I never thought of that joke first. Anyways, it was so bad, the teacher eventually got to the point where she was doing poetry.
Open your coloring books and repeat after me. Whitey is bad, Whitey is whack. If Whitey had a soul, then Whitey would be black.
Damn, is this Dr. Seuss for the racially insecure? Because what is actually going on here? Anyways, I did search up who these people were in the video. It's safe to say that they have a lot in common with these individuals. Also, by the way, this woman is Lauren Witzke. The streets are saying that she was a meth and heroin addict, but it gets better. She actually admitted she was smuggling drugs for Mexican cartels, which honestly explains why her political campaign was so America first. She was out here complaining that the sitting senator at the time was enabling foreigners to take American jobs, while she was personally out there stealing hard work away from those poor Mexican drug smugglers as a proud American. Truly, employee of the month. Anyways, she lost her election and now rants on Twitter all day, but all I know is keep her away from the south of the border. Not because she spreads hate towards Mexicans on her Twitter account, but because she might just start smuggling smuggling and get addicted to the cartel's drugs again. And also, I'm not gonna lie, the full video of this got completely wiped off the internet. All I hope is that at the very least, the next individual is funnier. Surely they're funnier, right?
What is that? Oh my God, I am on Trump's road right now. I cannot be on this road a minute longer. Where is the next exit? Tell me where it is.
You know what? I find this funny. Definitely not because of the video, because let's be real, it's funny because of the concept of getting mad at a street name. Now his claim is that liberals get real angry at Trump Road. Like they're out here throwing stuff on the road, burning the road, maybe even blowing it up while we're at it. And these people claim that liberals are so sensitive. So surely these same individuals wouldn't care if there was a random crosswalk in the city that so happened to be rainbow, right? Because they aren't sensitive, right? Oh wait, I forgot. If there was a list of problems that needed to be addressed, rainbow crosswalks are definitely at the top. 100% a national emergency. Now, I don't go outside that often, but maybe it's been statistically proven that when you walk on a rainbow crosswalk, the next 3 generations of your bloodline become gay. I really couldn't tell you. Maybe it's because I got my education done at Based Academy. Now, we've seen these conservatives display what they think liberals act like. Now it's time to see what they think liberals look like.
I have depression. I have anxiety. I'm confused about what gender I am. I support Hamas, a terrorist organization. I have an art major. I believe in open borders. I scream and pout when I don't get my way. But you should listen to me on how to make this country better.
God forbid this is actually someone's humor. Because from what I've seen so far, conservative comedy isn't just lazy, it's straight up unfunny. Not gonna lie, it's extraordinarily hard to laugh at. Anyways, maybe there was a time when conservative comedy was funny. I wouldn't know though, never really kept tabs on it. But as of today, this is just atrocious. We went from grown men acting like cockatoos to wearing tinfoil nose rings. The future really is bright. Anyways, it's been your boy Era, the future of conservative comedy. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe and check out the other videos. And I'll see you guys next time when I start spamming the same jokes over and over again, which statistically speaking is exactly how conservative comedy works. All right, I'm out.